have the first game, which was Wasps versus Bristol, and I'm actually surprised by this. I thought Bristol would do better, but they got absolutely destroyed, 47-24 by Wasps. Which, what can you say? Wasps looked good.
Yeah, they switched on Jack Willis. What a player, mate. What a
I
player.
told you, he is insane. Mackie just
Yeah.
doesn't rate him as much, but he is seriously good. He's seriously good. Like, he's got to be, I think he has to be given a chance at England. And I think
No, 100%.
I was listening to the BBC rugby podcast, and Hugo Monnier was saying, how can you even ignore the fact that he's got double the amount of the second best people in turnovers? Like, even though Mackie was saying, like, oh, some people can be given the job of doing turnovers, that's still a ridiculous stat. You can't ignore that.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Okay, here's a shout. Because he's playing so well and because he's in such good form, if he maintains this form and coming into the international stage gets given a chance with England, what do you think about a Lions shirt? Because Tom Curry came into the England squad like fairly recently, like within the last year or two, and then now everyone's got him pinned for Lions. Like, he's pretty much an obvious choice for at least a squad place. So what do you think about Jack Willis?
It's a hard one because I don't know if he's got any caps yet. So I guess it's a bit harder to, with obviously Tom Curry's had a whole World Cup under his belt. I think that and has Six Nations, which makes a big difference. I think because obviously playing Premiership and playing international is such a big step up. You're literally playing the best of the best in any international game. So obviously,
Yeah.
if he plays well, then if he plays literally insane, you can't deny he could be a bolter. But he'll have to, yeah. If he can carry on his form, then it's a possibility. But with all the choice, it's hard to say because back row is such a competitive position for literally every club. So when there's three of the biggest nation, or like four of the biggest nations, all of their back rows who are pretty good.
No, three of the biggest nations in Scotland.
But yeah, it's hard. But
No.
Overall, Wasps very good. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I was also a bit surprised by Bristol. They didn't really fire. I thought, Randrandra, as he prefers to be called, I think, didn't really fire. I don't know. I thought there was still some good moments for Bristol. I think Max Malins has played outstanding in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's been really good.
And we mentioned him about the Challenge Cup semi-final, and he's playing really, really well. So he could be another one that possibly bolts into the England squad, and possibly further from that if he gets a chance in England shirt, especially because he's a 15 as well, and England don't really have like solid 15 at the moment. So he's a possibility. I don't know. I thought Wasps just played really well, and because you got Jack Willis just so good, mate. Like, whenever he carried really well. Whenever he turned the ball over a shit ton of times, pardon my French, he
He scored, didn't he?
He also scored a try. Like, he drove it over from about 2 meters out, and like he had two people on top of him or something, just stupidly powerful. So I really do think it's yeah. I don't know. I was expecting more from Bristol, but I'm almost happy to see Wasps in the final because I think Exeter would have absolutely destroyed Bristol, and I'm not 100% sure now, looking at how well Wasps played, and if they can get around the outside of Exeter, then we're in for a good game, basically.
It would be a good competition. I think Wasps are definitely the closest side it's proven now, but like I think even coming into these games, Wasps were going to be the likely side who could stop Exeter. I think Bristol, obviously, they built such a good squad over the last season or two couple seasons, but I think they're still in that building stage where they are able to, be a really competitive side, but I don't think they're quite at the top yet. But I think maybe in a season or two, they could really be pushing for this final. And obviously, they're going to have Champions Cup rugby next season. And also, they got the Challenge Cup final, so they may get some silverware anyway, which would be interesting.
100%. Yeah, no, they do have that. So maybe that was in the back of their mind. I don't know. What do you reckon they'd rather? I think being obviously they would rather win both, but at the same time, I think they'd already had that in mind maybe, and they were kind of like, okay, yeah, like. Where by the time Wasps had got that far in front, they were kind of just like, yeah, okay, this isn't our game, but we've got that match coming up that we can still win some silverware.
Rugby.